tell you a story, Rachel, about a woman I know who she loves movies. She likes superhero movies, but there was one good superhero movie that I, having seen it, wasn't comfortable asking her to see it too. And that movie's Deadpool, and that's because
Deadpool's not for a Rachel.
Deadpool's not for a Rachel, and that's because Rachel has done a great job in her life of protecting herself from being exposed to certain kinds of crudeness or disgustingness or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And
I would say there's two things. That's one thing, is that I have kind of protected myself from certain images and things like that, and I don't have a desire to let that in all of a sudden.
Right.
The other thing is that I also have some baggage, probably like around sexuality. So if I see movies with crude sexual jokes and innuendo or just blatant like sexual behavior, it has like an effect on me.
Like negative consequences.
Yeah, negative effect on me.
So as much as I liked the original Deadpool, I didn't think it was as great as some people made it out to be. I thought it was good and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like so great that I'd be like, Rachel, you need to risk watching this movie. And so what I did is I picked the phone and I called my buddy Ryan Reynolds. And I was like, Ryan, I call him Ryan. All his close friends do. I was like, listen, I need you to do me a solid. Deadpool 2, I haven't seen it yet, and my wife hasn't seen either movie, but could you make one that would protect Rachel as much as possible from the really most crude parts of Deadpool? Maybe, and I just threw it out there, I was like, maybe Once Upon a Deadpool would be a good name, and you could get Fudge Savage, it'd be funny, and we laughed, you know. And then, yeah, my buddy Rai, he made the movie, and so we went and saw Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yes, we went and saw Once Upon a Deadpool. And so my overall take was, yeah, this is definitely, apparently all that you can pack into a PG-13 and still have that rating is still okay for a Rachel. And I do, like, they did a good job with, like, balancing humor, also balancing meaningfulness.
Yeah.
So if those are the things that are present in the other Deadpool movies, I really get why people like it. And that's what was present in this movie. And so overall, like, I did enjoy the movie.
I enjoyed it too. I had seen the original. I hadn't seen Deadpool 2. Now I kind of have, right? Because that's what this...
Right, so the point is that this is Deadpool 2.
It's a retelling of Deadpool 2.
With like 20 minutes of new footage, which is basically put in there as a way to, with him and Fred Savage from Wonder Years and Princess Bride, to kind of give us this movie in a new way. Go wait or skip, Kelsey.
I'm going to say that this is going to be a nuanced answer. If you haven't seen Deadpool or Deadpool 2 and you're kind of interested in it, then go see the movie. This is a good. That's what it's for. It's for you. Or if you're a Rachel, go see this movie. If you have already seen Deadpool or whatever, then no, don't go see the movie. Skip this movie because it's just you should just watch Deadpool 2 probably. Yeah. Because the parts that are in it with Fred Savage are funny and like I liked it or whatever, but I agree with the bulk of the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes that it doesn't really add anything to the story. It was just a funny, smart, good way, and I'm glad they did it, of making this Once Upon a Deadpool movie.
So for me, my answer it would also be nuanced in that if this kind of humor, Deadpool kind of humor, is not your thing, definitely skip this movie. Because whether it's rated R or PG-13, you're still not going to like it. If you really like Deadpool and you have no problem with all like the crudeness and all that stuff, go see Deadpool 2 too. Like in whatever platform you see that now. Just see that. I don't know, if you have a special place in your heart for The Princess Bride and so you want to see Fred Savage and you like Deadpool 2 so much that you wouldn't mind seeing it again, then yeah, you can see this too and that'd be good.
Do whatever you want, basically.
If you're like me, and maybe you were holding off on, or you didn't see the Deadpool movies, you thought you might like part of them, but that it just had too much in it that was crude, you can see this movie, although I would say wait. The movie overall to me was kind of forgettable, but I did enjoy watching it. So I don't think you have to rush out and see this, especially if like you have choices like to choose between. Go see Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Wait on this one. And see it later. Spoilers, yeah. This movie, for me, I did forget what movie we just saw Friday night. Like, when we sat...
So it's literally forgettable.
Yeah, like, I was like, what did we see? I can't remember. I know we went to the movies. What did we see? So I literally forgot about it, and to me, there just wasn't... I appreciated that they took the character of Deadpool serious, even though they have so much, like, humor in it. that this was still considered a real person who had real feelings and real things going on in his life. With losing, you know, the love of his life, how painful that would be. So they even used humor to kind of convey some of that pain. But it did show, like, I mean, that's a really painful thing to go through. And especially the timing of how it happened and everything, like, in his particular life. That, all that said, it didn't, like, quite just hit me at my core or anything with it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like me just watching maybe a sitcom that would deal with some heavy issues, but then I just go on with my life because it's a sitcom and it's not like really like just turning my life upside down with like its meaningfulness.
Yeah, it's super smart and it's edgy and it's funny, and they do a good job of having an arc for the character in a way and to hit meaningful content. But at the same time, there's not a lot of depth to the movie.
Right. Depth
So
is a
if
good
you're
word.
like, I enjoyed the movie. Like, I laughed a lot. I thought it was funny. There were some really funny parts in it. There's nothing to like connect to your soul when you watch it that makes it like a lasting type of deal.
And yeah, and it was a really good message. So like the message was like that, you know, something tragic happened in his life, but he still had a purpose here on that he was supposed to kind of like stay and finish. That he had a purpose, and that maybe his purpose wasn't getting married and having kids with this woman, as it turned out, like that was going to be impossible, but that like maybe a child in a different way was going to be somebody he was going to save. That's a great message.
Yeah.
Like, and it was real. They didn't poke fun at it. They didn't tear that down for like the sake of making jokes. So sometimes you can have a movie that will actually kind of tear away its own foundation in an effort to make jokes. And they didn't do that. I felt like but there was something lacking in depth that kept from coming away from the movie and being like, wow, that was just like, I'm going to sit and think about that for a while.
Yeah.
It was pretty straightforward. Like, we can all accept like the message of the movie, and then you move on.
It was just fun and entertaining, and I had a good time going to see it. I'm glad I went to see it at the movies. So
I was super glad that they made a PG-13 version of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because I have been interested in like the whole thing that Deadpool does, but I knew it was too crude for me. And let me say this was like probably my max limit for crudeness. And that there were some things in here that the only way I can describe, and maybe this would like, I don't know, you might not like this, but the way I would describe it, there was some humor in this movie where I was like, that's for a 14-year-old boy. Like, I don't find it like...
It's for me!
I didn't laugh, and I got why it was funny, but I just didn't laugh. So you know how sometimes people do something that's funny, you're like, no, I get why it's funny.
You do that to me a lot.
Yeah. So, and what I don't mean to be offensive, because maybe you're a girl and you thought it was like hilarious all the way through. But if I say this humor was for a 14-year-old boy, it conveys my meaning. Yeah. So there's no judgment there, because humor... No, there's not any. Humor is all about preference. We're all made differently, and so we laugh at different things. So, like, for example, I really appreciate dry humor. I don't think practical jokes are funny, like, at all. Like, I don't get it. I flat out don't get it. So that's, like, my thing. It's a preference. I know plenty of people that they think practical jokes are hilarious. They even watch a TV show about practical jokes. Like, I just don't get it. So that's a preference thing. So there's no judgment when I say any of this. It's the fastest way to convey the kind of humor that's in this movie.
Yeah, and I tend to like that kind of humor, and so it
Kelsey
was like I was laughing out loud a lot during this movie,
and I'm like,
it was funny, and like I don't know, I really liked seeing it. I hadn't seen the Deadpool 2. Anyway, I think that's it.
Quickly,
you're cutting people's leg out from under them.
What's that mean?
That you're a mean butt.
Why am I mean?
Because you're saying that it's it's true. Well, we didn't have Movie Pass back then, so
yeah.
Or whatever we have. It's not Movie Pass.
AMC A-List.
AMC A-List. Do not get Movie Pass. It's bunk.
As much as Kelsey says its name on it.
AMC A-List is the way to go. It's the best thing out there for movie fans, especially if you live close to an AMC theater, which is pretty common.
We live close to two.
Yeah.
But
they're around everywhere.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Cinemark has a similar thing, so...
Oh, well, we can't speak to that.
We haven't looked into it or experienced
But Cinemark,
that.
if you would like to sponsor the show... You know?
I don't know. We don't live that close to a Cinemark.
But if you wanted to
I mean,
sponsor
this
us.
theater, like literally, we live 5 minutes from a movie theater. It's
And
like
people
the
bring
best thing for
pillows
me.
and they bring.
Yeah, like that's such a special thing about our movie theater is that it feels like home because the way I guess where it's located, just you get a lot of like people that go there all the time. And seriously, people bring blankets and pillows in.
It's awesome. I love that theater. It's my
We've
favorite
got
theater.
to start doing that.
Yeah. And it used to not be my favorite theater. I'm even used to the little like failings of the theater. Like their IMAX screen is great and it sounds great, but the chairs
they bought
in there,
the wrong chairs.
the chairs like they have recliners that don't recline all the way, so the most you can get is like
a 45-degree
It's so
angle.
weird, but like
And
even those little things now, I'm like, that's my little home. You know,
Yeah.
I'll just be slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I love it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, come with us. Come with us.